afternoon I'm going to be talking about Barack Obama's Irish family history. It came as a surprise to people during the presidential race in 2007-2008 that he actually had any Irish roots. I think he was very much thought of as being a first-generation American, and in fact we actually proved that through his mother's side he had very, very strong links in Ireland, but also we were able to trace his family back, going back quite a ways. We actually brought them back to the late 1600s, which is not always possible to do in Ireland because of the big gaps in the records. We actually found that although he wasn't particularly renowned at the time for having an Irish-American heritage, that in fact we could actually say a good deal more about Barack Obama than we could about John F. Kennedy or Ronald Reagan, who are very well known as Irish-American presidents.
Stephen Smirrell, you're back, it's year 2, there's a great energy about this show, and the attendances seem to be up. There's a great energy about what's on offer here. Yeah,
there's a lot more people here, and I think that people came last year into the over 50s show. People came for genealogy, but they also came for the over 50s show, and they wandered in and discovered it was genealogy. In fact, last year we discovered people came back the next day or the day after that with their genealogy information to ask us questions.
My grandfather is Bartholomew O'Sullivan, who was chess champion of Ireland several times during the 30s and 40s, and he was, as far as I knew, an orphan. And he never said he had parents. He brought up in an orphanage. But I was actually able, through researching on the internet, I discovered who his parents were on a baptismal certificate in Limerick that said he was illegitimate. But I found his parents on that. Now I'm trying to trace them as to where they went after. He was born in a workhouse in Limerick and given up. So I'm now trying to trace his parents to see has he any siblings, and that's where I'm at. I've become a bit stuck.
You're saying it's a story of romance. Tell me about that.
Well, in the sense that when I found the census in Limerick, I found that his parents, once I knew who they were, I found them as both servants in a house, in a Tobin household in Abbeyfield in Limerick. So that's how I realised they got together, because his mother came from America, and then I found that she'd met up with this chap as a servant in a house, and 9 months later he was born. But then he was abandoned in a workhouse. So I have to find out where they both went to. Some people say that his father died on the Titanic, but I can't find proof of that, and I don't know whether Ellen went back to America. So I'm trying to figure out where they abandoned such a wonderful man who ended up becoming chess champion of Ireland.
Eric, no, thanks. I'm a busy man, a long queue at your stand, and we've got a moment with you.
I'm a busy man, all right. Yeah, I'm very happy to be a busy man, because I have to say that the sort of marriage of the genealogy people here and the senior times, it's obviously a marriage made in heaven, okay. Because the mix just sort of works, and the frustration for me is that I'm at my stand and I want to have a look around this place. But I can see half a Dubliner here, so you must be doing something right.
It's your first time at the Genealogy Back to Our Past show at the RDS. What's your impression of it?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. The amount of people going through the aisles is unreal, and the amount of interest in genealogy, very, very surprised. But I have to say, for people who are planning a day out, this is a great experience.
Okay. Irish Lives Remembered, what's that all about?
Irish Lives Remembered was set up to enable people to create a digital page for their deceased loved ones. Basically, you know, we have a lot of people emigrating all over the world, and family and friends are dispersed. So when somebody passes away, they may not necessarily be able to come home, attend funerals, attend anniversary masses. We've solved that problem by creating a digital page with all the similar functions to Facebook, whereby they can log on, leave messages, light a virtual candle, insert their memorial into a clan and into a virtual graveyard as well.
Brian Donovan from Enitlan and Find My Past, and you are just about to speak about murderers, rebels and drunkards at the Back to Our Past event.
That's quite right. We're just about to release all the prison registers online today, and we're also going to be releasing all the court records early next year. The prison registers are nearly 3 million records for the 19th century, telling information about people who were incarcerated for a whole range of reasons, and also information about their next of kin, and also the victims were often named and their addresses too. So you learn a lot about our society by discovering why people broke the law. Today I want to talk about your ancestors and the law, court and prison records. Things you don't generally think about looking at. Why would I bother with that? My ancestors, I'm sure, are terribly law-abiding. Well, there's lots of reasons why they may have had a brush with the law, and the records that are kept there are enormous. You've got to remember that a state, like any other organisation, collects records about people for a reason. They don't collect records because you're doing genealogy.
We're here on behalf of Derry City Council's Heritage and Museum Service, which has an archive centre and a genealogy centre, so this is our first time attending this event.
Okay, there's a great energy in this event. How's it going for you?
It's going excellent. We weren't really sure if just coming here on behalf of Derry there'd be enough interest, but we've been busy since we opened and it's a very excellent event.
We've got a gentleman here from the UK. You're at the Back to Our Past with Find My Past, and you're on a search in Ireland for some ancestry.
Yeah, I'm searching for my grandfather on my mother's side, from his original records. I know he died just before my mother was born. She was born in 1923 in England, but her maiden name was Riley. So I'm figuring that there will be some Irish ancestry there.
Okay.
And so I'm here working at the moment in Dublin just for a week.
Okay.
And I heard about this exhibition. I thought this was a good time to try and find out something about my own past.
Well, last year was such a success here. Like, we had over 2,000 inquiries by the time the weekend finished. So we said we'll definitely come back again, and we've made some really good inroads into our genealogy searches. So we're here to tell people all about them.
Glasnevin Trust is really elevated in terms of the facilities you have at Glasnevin, your records. You've won some awards recently, is that true?
Yeah, we won a museum award, a TIA award it's called. It's from California, and they usually go to places like Space Mountain or Harry Potter Land. But because the museum is state-of-the-art, we got it there last year, so top-notch award.
Okay. You have a new online offering, Robert. What's it all about?
Well, we've produced, since last year, we've produced the Irish Family and Local History Handbook, and we've launched it today, and we've had a fantastic response to it.
Okay, how can people get a hold of that, Robert?
Well, by coming here today, and they should be here next year for the next one,
okay.
But they can order it through our website, which is genealogical.ie, and it's not officially published until the end of February next year. So Irish people are the first people to be able to get their hands on it.
Searching for records of my father, whose name was George Power. He was from Cork, from Fermoy, Cork, and he was fairly prominent in the War of Independence from 1917 up to the end of the Civil War. And it's primarily trying to find out, we know more or less his record through the War of Independence. We have his witness statement, which stops actually just before the Civil War. And what happened to him after that, we don't know. We don't know where he spent the Civil War. He was still in the IRA, but didn't seem to be very active. And we're not sure. We actually thought maybe he might have been incarcerated, interned somewhere, but we can't find any record of that either.
So we're demonstrating our Ireland Survey Ireland website, and any member of the public can go onto the website and they can zoom into the particular area of interest. So if you're looking for a map of your locality back in 1837, you zoom into today's image of it, and then you simply go over here and click, and you bring up the old historic mapping of the area. So this gentleman is trying to locate the locality.
This is where my great-grandfather would have been.
And what area are we looking at here?
It's the townland of Rathcoonican in County Tipperary.
Very good.
It's going well. We found someone, haven't we?
Have you?
We found someone on the Griffiths valuations.
Today?
Today we found him, yeah. It looks like he had quite a substantial property back then, which was good. So,
okay, so you...
Somebody was wealthy.
Yeah, someone was wealthy.
So you came here today, you didn't know this information?
Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah.
Where my grandfather was commemorated, he was missing at the Battle of the Somme, and there isn't an actual grave for him, but he is commemorated in Posey, and I've just actually seen it on the computer, and I am thrilled to bits, and I'm getting a photograph of it.
Well, extremely well done. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Well, to be honest with you, it's absolutely fantastic, especially for what we do, having an interest in genealogical research. We're exactly here with the right kind of people, you know. You can see the age group here, it being the over 50 show, is perfect for people who have an interest in genealogical studies.
We got to one point and we couldn't get any further, And now by coming here, we've been able to go back another generation and find out, because we knew where the land was, but we didn't know who owned it. So, and we knew a name, but we couldn't fit it into our family. So now this confirms.
And this has happened today?
Yeah.
I'm searching. I want to have a look on the estate court records for an ancestor of mine that I know was in Armagh back in about 1860s.
To do with family history, my parents' family, very little was talked about, and I just want to find more.
I like the site itself. I have been online, and I like the way that it's set up and it's easy to search. Sometimes it comes up as these now.
Okay.
There might be a potential crime in the family that we'll be investigating in the courts and legal.
Have you ever seen this document before?
No.
So that's a new find for you?
Yeah.
Had a search. What did you uncover?
I've discovered that our ancestor got 2 eggs stolen from him, and who the person who stole the eggs, they were stolen on the 12th of the 3rd, 1886, and he was Charles Gaffney, Gaffney, stole 2 eggs from him.
So you've uncovered that on Fun Belfast?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing that. Thank you.
It's been absolutely fantastic. We've had a wonderful weekend so far. We've never tried it, so this was our first time. Wasn't sure what to expect, but we've been blown away. Really pleasant surprise. We've had a really busy stand for the last 2 days. We're promoting our magazine there, but also talking about our show, like you mentioned, which is in February 24th to 26th in Olympia in London.
Very, very popular indeed. It's of all the parts of the over 50 show, this seems to be by far the most crowded and the best attended, and we're swamped.
Yeah, so this is really a hub of anything, the best of genealogy in Ireland.
It has become it now, yes, certainly. Last year was the first time, and people were a bit surprised by it. This year people have had time to prepare, so it is becoming the sort of central focus of family history in Ireland, yeah.
John, it's day 2, it's even busier than yesterday. People are coming in their droves now.
Certainly, I'm standing in front of the Western Front Association stand, and they've said that this is one of the best shows they've ever been to. That's including the UK and the Commonwealth and the US. And they said they've been inundated, and what's interesting is that there's an Irish element that they don't normally come across in their shows, and it's been articulated by the hundreds and hundreds of very interesting inquiries, and they're also gratified by the fact that they're actually signing up people to join the association. So for them it's gone incredibly well.